Hello, this is Nilufar Surverdi. Let's take a look today at what can be understood by the long war between US, Israel and Iran. Who can be declared a winner? Who's the loser? Or should we say there's no winner or loser? First of all, when the war began, initiated by strikes from US and Israel against Iran on February 28th, it was apparently assumed by the strikers that it's going to be just a matter of few days. Within a few days, Iran would collapse, the government will fall, and they will be able to do what they feel like with Iran. That hasn't happened, and that has no chance of happening in the coming days too. So, apparently compelled to say goodbye to war, that prompted President Trump to go for the deal this week. The deal was signed by him and the Iran President Pezeshkian on 17th of June. The signing of the deal, it seems, has been interpreted from different angles. Where Israel is concerned, it's a real shock for it. It views the deal as its defeat. Israel apparently wanted the war to continue. It didn't want it to end now. But then where President Trump is concerned, he has midterm elections to face and he doesn't want his party to perform miserably because of the negative impact of the war. The war, we all know, has led to inflation all around the world. And that is particularly because of the closure of Strait of Hormuz. This also points out to a strategic planning used by Iran. It closed the Strait of Hormuz because of the war and let the world know of the power that it can exercise through a waterway. The deal doesn't signify their reaching agreement on quite a few crucial issues. These include Iran's nuclear policy, its enrichment of uranium, and quite a few others. But these will be worked upon during the 60 days period beginning from the day the deal was signed. During this period, which may be extended, they're expected to reach an agreement on these controversial issues. The deal, the interim deal which has been reached between the two, also points out to Lebanon should also not be a subject to violence, which means Israel should cease striking against Lebanon. And if it does not do so, that would be a violation of this agreement. Israel's strikes continue. This is also perhaps an indicator that it's a message of Israel that it'll have its way. It doesn't want the war to end, and it's going to exercise all strategies possible to provoke, probably, Iran to the stage of war again. Should that happen, well, where President Trump is concerned, he seems to be fairly against the idea of resuming the war. It would also be in Iran's good interest not to be provoked to that stage again. Clearly, while US has been regarded as a loser in this war, in this phase, Israel has also been regarded as a loser because they've not had their way. Their decision to start the war and continue it for such a long period is being described as a costly, a dangerous mistake, which in other words also implies that it's been a total failure on their part, on part of Israel and US, or in other words, on part of Benjamin Netanyahu and President Trump. With respect to Iran, the same cannot be said. Iran has certainly not won the war, but then, as the situation stands, it cannot also be described as a loser. Let's see what happens next. Please do give a thought. Do like and subscribe till we meet again. Thank you.